field is set, and we are ready to go racing once again. The third week of the second season of NASMARB about to get underway with the running of the Red Mug 500. Hello again, friends. Ricochet, glad to have you here for this third race of the season as the teams really start to settle in. Some storylines to look at will involve some of the mid-tier drivers as far as qualifying is concerned. Of course, that's Biedrzycki, who won last week. And then, of course, Streamer for OB Racing, who's never lost here at this track, including the winner of this race, the defending champion of the Red Mug 500. Speaking of those drivers and more, here's a look at the groups 1 through 6. Jack Tato won the pole, very impressive. He'll take on Murakami in Prime. Group 2 is Steve, Biedrzycki, and Mozilla. That's an interesting group. Electro, Confetti, and Winx make up Group 3. And on the bottom side, it's Nugget, Neptune, and Piper, Bloodstorm, Streamer, and Oak. And then Spitzer, Sal, and Earl. Very interesting. You see Biedrzycki, you see Streamer, and you see the defending champion of this series, Oak, all double-digit seeds. But we'll start with the 1 seed, Jack Tato, who won the pole. Murakami in the middle, and the 17 of Prime is on the outside. And we got some spinners, and this is going to be just one car finishing the lap, it seems. And it's going to be an easy win for Jack Tato, who advances upside down, ends up the 17. And stalling before you get to the final corner there is Murakami as well. As you have a look at the replay here, up and over goes the 17 and a big spin for the 4 car as well, as they're unable to do anything whatsoever. And an easy advancement into the round of 12 there for the pole sitter. Now they'll go one-on-one for the final spot, and upside down this time, it's the 4, and the 17 comes across backwards, but that's enough to get the victory. And for Prime, they advance past the group stage for the first time this season. Knocking out Murakami here. And looked like, in the first turn, something flipped. And on the hood ends up the 4 as Murakami is eliminated in the group stage, and their tough start to the season continues on as they fail to get out of the first group. On to Group 2, the 32, the 3, and the 66. Steve has had a ton of speed in qualifying, but has struggled in the races, the main events themselves. They're on the inside line there. In the middle is Biedrzycki in unfamiliar territory. Look at this race side by side. Now a block made by Drizel. The move, it's going to be a little too late. And what a run there. Very impressive. All 3 were right in it. It's Biedrzycki who pulls out the victory despite not having a great qualifying run. Look at that, side by side with the 32, and then just some great blocking skills here, and nothing Steve could do about it. And so they'll have to go one-on-one versus Mozilla to try to get the final spot. Steve trying to avoid what would be a big disappointment, and it's going to be an easy victory. There's the speed we saw during qualifying. Doesn't get much easier than that for Steve. Ran a really clean lap, really had no competition there from Mozilla, who's knocked out in this first round. And tried to get to the back bumper, but could not get anything going as far as any kind of momentum to try to make a run there at Steve, and the wheelman advances through despite a tough matchup there with Biedrzycki. Here's Group 3. Electro very fast. Confetti and Winx make up the other 2. Let's see what Electro can do. Had really good speed during qualifying, but it's coming out 3rd right now. Going to have to make a pass. It's not going to happen. Confetti's the only car that's going to finish the lap. As Winx, there may be a little movement. And now looks like it's going to be a stall out there as Confetti advances. And for Fortune Racing, that's the 7 car. They're going to get their first heat win of the season as well. So we saw it from Prime in the 17. And now the former driver of the 17, Confetti in the 7. Both drivers getting their first heat wins here in the 3rd race of the season. Now Electro against Winx. And Electro again doesn't have great speed. Going to have to make a pass. And they will make the pass down the final backstretch. And Electro advances and gets the final spot out of Group 3. A tough battle there. Electro did not get great speed out of the gate in either of those runs, but able to make a pass there after the 13 got loose and into the wall, and the 93 survives and advances. You'll see it here on this great camera near the front, or near the start-finish line on the backstretch. Contact there. And the 93 able to make the pass and get to the next round. Group 4 features Nugget, Neptune, and Piper. Neptune, the winner of the season opening race, the Spiral 360. Piper has gotten off to an incredible start. And she's made the final 6 in each of her first 2 races. She's got the lead here. All she's got to do is finish the lap. A little bouncy, but she'll do it. And Piper advances through again. Neither of the other cars are able to finish, and that's become somewhat of a theme here early on in this group stage. As Piper advances, have a look at the replay here on the outside line. And she just made the pass, and you can see, it looks like the 11, yep, Nugget came off the track. Or, excuse me, Neptune came off the track as Nugget stalled in the second turn. Couldn't even see Neptune down there somewhere in the abyss. And now they'll go head-to-head. Remember, Neptune is in the playoffs no matter what. A big spin there. And they're both going to stall in the turn. One at the entrance, one at the exit. And so we'll have to re-rack and go again. Wow, big spin there. Taking up the entire track for the 11, who almost got enough momentum from the push from Nugget to be able to get out of the corner and maybe finish the lap. But we'll do it again now. And again, contact is made early. Now Nugget's spinning. Nugget's going to keep it straight enough, though, and advance and knock out Neptune. And so Nugget through the group stage. For Coos Motorsports, brand new team, brand new car, and it's the first heat win of the season for Nugget. We're seeing quite a few firsts so far here through the first couple of groups. As advancing through his Nugget, Neptune already locked into the playoffs via their season opening win, but they failed to get out of the group stage here. Here is Group 5. We talked about it during qualifying. Streamer has never lost at DDT International, winning this race and the other run here at this track out here. Big spin, though, for the 26. They're not going to finish the lap. It's a speedy lap for Oak, who knocks it out of the park. Oh, there, wow, I'm surprised there, as the 26 came across very late, but did finish the lap. It doesn't matter, though, as Oak advances here. Very impressive run from the 48, as Streamer is going to have to go one-on-one to try to keep their undefeated streak alive here at DDT International. Here we go, the 26 has the speed, gets spun! Trying to go around backwards, can they get enough momentum to get down the backstretch? The answer is yes, as Streamer advances and survives a battle with Bloodstorm. That was a tough group here for Streamer, who's having a much harder time here than they did at either of these races held at DDT International last year, but able to advance. And just did get the momentum. We talked about maybe Neptune able to do that in the last group. Couldn't get enough momentum to finish the track. This time, it's Streamer able to do so. So they advance into the round of 12 now. And the final group is Spitzer, Sal, and Earl. Interesting group there. Sal is off to a pretty good start. As far as the speed goes, didn't have the results last time. The 33 of Earl, and of course Spitzer upside down is Earl. Spitzer trying to get enough momentum. The speed is going to carry them through to the next round. And Earl didn't get anywhere close, and the trend is continuing here. That's Spitzer's first heat win of the season. Yeah, only upside down in turn 1 coming out of the exit of that turn there. And Sal just had nothing speed-wise to try to make any attempt to get past the 25. So Spitzer on to the next round, and Red Panda's racing in a little bit of trouble here. Had a car not qualify. Now you might have another not make it through the group stage. As Sal gets turned trying to stay in front of Earl, and they will do so going backwards with a lot of speed. Impressive run down that backstretch by Sal. They advance, and a second Red Panda's racing car is out early. Woodpecker doesn't qualify for this event, and now Earl knocked out in the group stage, so they both fail to make the final 12, and it's Lemon Drizel and Piper carrying the torch for the team as we go into the round of 12. This is best 2 out of 3, and we'll start with one of those Red Pandas racing cars. That's Piper facing Jack Tato, but first you see on the bottom of your screen, Oak had the fastest lap in Heat 1 with an even 4 seconds. Steve with the fastest overall lap ran a 3.77 in the second heat of Group 3 to advance on. Now into the final 12. This is Jack Tato, the 1 seed who was dominant in their 1 heat they ran, against Piper, the young gun, and Jack Tato out to the early lead, spinning down the backstretch as Piper trying to make something happen and just tried a little too hard. Jack Tato takes an early lead here. Piper had been a top 6, so top seed in each of their first 2 races, but she is the 15 seed in this matchup, and so she draws Jack Tato in this round of 12. Jactato with a little contact way out in front again. Just got to keep it straight, and they do. Very impressive. It's a sweep for Jactato, and for the first time, Piper unable to advance into the final 6. So Jactato, really impressive after a second-place finish a week ago. They are bringing speed and then some here to the Red Mug 500. Jactato finished just 17th in this race last season, but they are putting on a show here. Here's the 99 of Nugget against the 17 of Prime. Both drivers in new cars. Of course, that's a brand new car overall in the 99. And they are going to get stuck on the track, across slowly, but still across nonetheless, and it's enough to get the win for Prime as they take a 1-0 lead over Nugget here. You can see on the replay it was a spin, big spin. And more contact there with Prime is what sent Nugget up over the railing there and got him stuck in the middle of turn 2. So now a must-win for Nugget if they want to try to force a third, and they're around now. Now they're going backwards. And Prime cannot make the pass. Instead, they just bang right up against the front end of the 99 of Nugget, and we are headed to a decisive third matchup between the 4-seed Nugget and Prime, who snuck into this event as the number 18 seed, just got in, and did so with some help from Woodpecker and Quilla, who had a disastrous second lap. Now Prime trying to make the pass. Here comes Nugget with the speed on the backstretch, and I don't know what happened to Prime, but they failed to even finish the lap, and so the 99 is going to advance to the final 6. What happens here? Yeah, something happened. You can see just the car just stops going. And disappointing run there for Prime as Steve and Oak are going to face off, and we're getting word from the garage area that that's a broken axle on the 17 car that caused them to not only not be able to get the win, but be unable to even finish the lap. So very disappointing. Here's Steve and Oak, and you can see the speed of Steve just continuing to show off here. And the 2-seed takes a 1-0 lead. Back to Prime. That should be very interesting to see what they have to do during the week to try to get that car prepared for next week's race after breaking an axle. Not many times do you see things like that happen, as this is a lot of contact back and forth and backwards with speed across the line, and advancing into the final 6 is Steve, who has a lot of speed. We've talked about it every qualifying run. It's been a ton of speed, but it's been a hard time getting it to go straight once you get into the races. Wouldn't say the car went straight necessarily on that lap, but able to use the 48 to their advantage and kind of get them turned around enough where it was straight, just going backwards to advance. Now here's Lemon Drizel against Streamer. What a matchup this is. Drizel, last week's winner, against Streamer, who's never lost at this track. A lot of contact, and neither is going to get out of the second turn there. This is the first and second finishers from this race last season, and a ton of contact as Drizel tried to get around, but didn't have enough momentum to get out of the corner there. So they'll re-rack and go again. Remember, this is best 2 out of 3. We're still in the first heat. Another big contact made. Look at Drizel trying left and right to make passes. It's not going to work, and Streamer with a 1-0 lead. Oh, man. Lemon Drizel is such a skilled passer and tried everything they could to get around the 26. Streamer wouldn't let it happen. Trying to keep their win streak alive at this track. Can they make the move? Here's Drizel, got some speed, banging into the 26 and pushing him across the line. And we just talked about the great passing abilities of Lemon Drizel. That was a mistake there. Got spun, and then you can see the 26 just hard into the wall. The 3 picks up the speed, but bangs into the back end, back bumper to back bumper, and Streamer advances to the final 6. And now here is Electro versus Sal, so Streamer's teammate, who had a really good speed here. Big spin, and Sal's going to take a 1-0 lead. There's a little bit of an upset, as Electro unable to get out of that second turn. Electro is the 3-seed. Sal was still a respected 7th place qualifying position, but they are the underdog here in this final 12 matchup. And they are now 1 win away from knocking out the 93, who's in some need of a good run. And now Electro trying to do some blocking. They won't need it as they even it up, and we go to a decisive third matchup here. Heat number 3, hard into the wall there for Sal, and that may have stopped any kind of momentum they may have had trying to go into turn number 2 to try to make a pass. So a pretty easy victory there. Now we've got Sal and Electro for the final time, unless they crash. And they are crashing. Can Sal get out of the corner? No, they cannot. It is a crash, and we will go again. Guess I jinxed them there. Wasn't intending that to happen, but neither car is able to get out of the second turn. And so they will re-rack and go again for a spot in the final 6. Sal's got the lead and the speed, but now the turn. Here's the pass. Does Electro have enough? Trying to glide down the backstretch across the line. And Electro barely able to advance into the final 6 as a lot of contact made again on that second try at that third heat. Just got far enough down where the descent happens out of turn 2 to carry it across the line. Oh boy, that was close. But an advancement for another OB racing car. They're both in. Spitzer and Confetti. Oh, Confetti with a big spin. All Spitzer's got to do is get to cross the line, and they will to take a 1-0 lead. I don't know what that was about. Hard into the wall. I mean, it almost looked like that was a block attempt, but I can't imagine you'd be blocking before you even get into turn 1. It looks like just some sort of error. I don't know if that's a driving error or what happened there, but definitely a mistake there from Confetti as they fall behind 1-0. Let's see what Spitzer can do trying to take advantage, but now it's Confetti with an easy win. It's 1-1. As in turn 1 is where you got sideways there, and it really cost any opportunity for Spitzer to do anything with it. As you can see, they end up in turn 2 stalled. Here we go, decisive third heat. Who's going to take that spot in the final 6? Spitzer trying to get around. Oh, opening up the door is Confetti. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's a disaster for Confetti, and Spitzer is into the final 6. That's the third career final 6 appearance. Oh man, the move was made, but it was a mistake that was made. Right here, you see it turn to the left and into the wall. Opened up the door for Spitzer, who really didn't move. As Spitzer is into the final 6, grabs that final spot. Third career final 6 appearance for Spitzer. The first since this race last season. Fastest laps are on the bottom of the screen, and surprise, surprise, it's Jack Tato who ran the fastest lap in Heat 1 and the fastest lap in Heat 2. They'll take on Streamer. That is a heavyweight matchup. Let's go ahead and just get right to it. This is the one everybody wants to see. The fastest car by far, seemingly, so far in this race, taking on the only driver to ever win at this track, period. And they are going at it here. Spinning down the backstretch is the 26, and Jack Tato takes a 1-0 lead. Final 6 is best of 5. They've got to win 3. And there, yeah, just trying to do too much. Got the back end out from underneath. And Streamer had nothing they could do about it. Jack Tato had the speed, took advantage. Now they switch lanes, and Jack Tato again. Ooh, a little spin there from Streamer. They're both, ooh, here comes Jack Tato trying to make it work. And they're going to run out of steam about halfway down the backstretch. So they cannot take enough advantage to be able to take the 2-0 lead after they get spun there by Streamer, and in turn, just knock Streamer right off the track and onto the barrier there. And then just didn't quite have enough, but Jack Tato almost got it. As they'll make contact again, out of turn 2. Oh, and now Streamer flips Jack Tato. Things are getting chippy here. As both cars stall in turn 2, after Jack Tato moves Streamer off the track, Streamer flips the 12 car. And this battle just keeps getting better. Oh my goodness. Let's try it again. For a third time, we'll try that second. And there's a little bit of a turn attempt there. Now Jack Tato makes the pass. Takes the 2-0 lead. How about that one? I mean, my goodness. Jack Tato has come for blood here in the Red Mug 500. Made a great move. Got in front of the lane Streamer was running that way in case there was going to be a pass attempt. it was going to have to be a move made by the 26. The speed wasn't there anyway. And so Jack Tato, coming off of a finals appearance and a runner-up, trying to get to the finals again. But Streamer makes the move, gotta finish the lap. They will. Wasn't exactly the fastest lap, but Jack Tato spinning made it mean that all Streamer had to do was finish the lap there. They do, and so Streamer stays alive. It's 2-1. Again, it came right down to the end to get into the final 6 for Streamer, trying to keep their ownership of this track alive. They've got the lead here. Jack Tato trying to close in. It's going to be too little too late. And we will go to a 5th heat. Here we go. As Jack Tato had some speed down the backstretch, but was too far behind. Streamer trying to get back to the final. Jack Tato trying to keep their dreams alive and winning the race. It's going to be Jack Tato knocking out Streamer, who will not win for the first time in the history of DDT International. Jack Tato, after a runner-up finish last week at Hyper Speedway, is back in the final. It's the first time that they have been in a final not held at Hyper Speedway. So you can really see the progression of the 12 car, and now they look to one-up what they did last week with a win here at the Red Mug 500. Now it's the 25 of Spitzer against Steve in the 32 for this brand new team, Titan Motorsports. Steve, made a big mistake there, and it nearly cost him the heat. They were way out in front, but got hard into the wall here coming out of turn 2. In the wall there, but then right here it's just a hard turn to the right, and it nearly cost him as Spitzer tried to make up the ground there. But Steve, the 2 seed, advancing through. We've still got the 1, 2, and 3 seeds. Look at these two side by side, and out of turn 2, Steve able to make the pass and clear Spitzer to take a 2-0 lead. Man, that was a tough heat right there. Trying to advance into the final, and they're going to do it. If they can clean the lap, they will. Steve advances with a sweep of Spitzer. And for the first time in their career with a brand new team, Steve in the 32 is in the final. Putting it all together here in week number 3. After a really strong car in qualifying and disappointing results in the race, now Steve has had both. They're in the final for the first time. You know, that's got to feel great for a young, new team with a veteran driver who hadn't had success in their previous ride. Now we get the 93 and the 99, another brand new team. That's Nugget. They've got Red Mug on the car. Can they make a statement in this race? Not on the first heat, as Electro takes a 1-0 lead. This is 3 versus 4. So the final is going to be the top 4 seeds. The question is, will it be 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4? Who meets Steve and Jack Tato in the final? Electro gets past here with a little bump and run by the 99, and Nugget limping across the line there to even this thing at 1 apiece. Watch this. Out of the turn, there's a little bump right into the wall. Nothing dirty about it. That's how you run the races here in NASMARB if you want to win, and Nugget does just that to make it 1-1 with the final spot in the final up for grabs. 1-1 here. And Electro trying to make a move is Nugget, but it's a little bit too late. Almost got there. Looked like he may have gotten just to the back quarter panel there, but no chance to make a move to spin Electro. Have a look at it right here. Oh, yeah, just not quite enough to be able to make a move. And Electro is 1 win away from a finals appearance after not qualifying last week, and they're going to make it easily unless there's a mistake here. Oh no! Disaster strikes for Nugget as Electro slowing down the backstretch. But Nugget, instead of making the pass, goes right into the back bumper and pushes the 93 across the line. Electro is in the final. It's 1, 2, and 3 going for the title today. And now Nugget, Spitzer, and Streamer will go head-to-head for 4th place. There are the heat laps, and, well, I told you what, it's been really impressive to watch Jack Tato today. They had both the fastest laps in the round of 12. They take all 3 of the fastest laps here in the round of 6. So winner of this one takes 4th, then 5th and 6th. It looks like it's going to be Spitzer, but does Streamer have anything to say about it? The answer is no. Spitzer, then Streamer. Nugget can't get out of turn 2, so they'll hold on to a 6th place finish here. Still pretty good for that brand new team. And for Streamer, a little bit of a fall from grace. The only driver to ever win at this track will finish 5th. Spitzer, who was in the final in this race last season, finished 3rd. They'll follow that up with a 4th place finish here. Red Bug 500, here's the final. Jack Tato, Steve, and Electro. First to 4 is the winner. This is the first final ever when we ran this race last season to ever go to a 10th heat, which meant that it was a 3-3-3 tie before a decisive final 10th heat. This is also the home of the only caution in NASMARB history. I touched on it briefly earlier. That came on the first attempt of heat number 10, so there were really 11 heats. That was when Lemondrizel was ejected from the car. And here, what else is new? Jack Tato takes a 1-0-0 lead. And did it despite getting spinned there. Steve had a chance, but went into the wall with that left front. And it cost him a chance to take the win right there. And just a very smooth run there, far behind in 3rd place is Electro. So 1-0-0. Here comes heat number 2. Steve is in the lead, trying to make the pass. Here comes Jack Tato. Electro is going to take 2nd on that heat, but it's a 2-0-0 lead. Again, Steve holds the lead coming out of turn 2 and turns the left front right into the wall. That is a disaster so far. Now Electro looked like they were out in the lead, but instead it's Steve again into the wall. But this time Steve far enough ahead, and neither of the other cars are going to finish as Electro ends up upside down blocking Jack Tato. So Steve, in their first ever finals appearance, is on the board with a victory. Having a hard time coming out of turn 2 though, and that's not going to be a recipe for success. You can't rely on that right there happening, where 2 cars are not going to finish the heat there every single time. Steve's got to clean it up coming out of turn 2. They've led all 3 heats coming out of turn 2. Not this one, though. It's Jack Tato by 1.5 miles. And the other cars also stall again here. Once again, it's Electro. They were upside down last heat. Now they're turned up against the wall. Looked like they may have gotten turned, though, by Steve, who gets blocked trying to make a pass there. It's 3-1-0. Jack Tato closing in on victory on a dominant effort around turn 2. Here comes Steve. They have nothing in the end for Jack Tato. It's a 4-1-0 dominant victory. A first-time winner. Jack Tato locked into the playoffs with a dominant effort here at the Red Mug 500. And there may be a new owner of the DDT International Speedway. I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable effort from Jack Tato start to finish. Pole sitter, dominant efforts in the group stage, the round of 12, the round of 6, and they are a dominant effort there in the finals. There are the finishing results. And by the way, out of the 8 out of the top 9 there, if you go through Prime, only Sal had posted a better finish earlier this season. Everybody else with a season best finish. Jack Tato scoring 48 points, including the lead lap bonuses. That's the most in NASMARB history in a single event. They are now the points leader. They surpassed Lemondrizel. Both are locked into the finals here into the playoffs rather, after winning. Neptune drops down to 5th place after a disappointing run. Of course, they're still locked in as well. Steve running 3rd after passing Piper. They are the highest by points, plus 31 to the cut line. It's Jack Tato, Lemondrizel, Steve, Piper, and Neptune the top 5. Then Streamer, Oak, Bloodstorm, Quillo, despite not qualifying for the race, still in there. Plus 9 right now in 9th place overall. Sal rounds out the top 10. Electro and Earl are the last 2 in the playoffs right now. Earl with a 5-point advantage despite a disappointing run. A 5-point advantage over Spitzer, who sits there in 13th. 9 points to the good of Murakami. 10 points over Confetti, then goes to 16 over Mozilla, 17 back each are Nugget and Woodpecker, Prime and Winx pulling up the rear. Very disappointing start there, especially for Winx in the 13 for a powerhouse team there. Got 3 cars, but 2 of them aren't in the playoffs right now, and of course Winx has only earned 20 points through 3 races. Gotta turn it around as we head into week 4 and really get into the grind of the second season of NASMARB. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was a very compelling race, but also at the same time a very dominant race. Congratulations to Jack Tato. Unbelievable effort, a day they'll never forget. Until next time, I'm Ricochet, and you've been watching a presentation of MSPN.